I'm sorry to make you do this, babe. Can you? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 38th favorite dad in the family community, Papa West, Jacob West, here for another exciting episode of TMG Takes the Field, the weekly show where we talk about sports. And by sports, I mean the only good sport in the world, which is football. Very exciting week, both college football and NFL, because, we had stuff happen in college. Navy beat Army. That's great news, right? We also had some bowl games. We had, on the 13th, which was Saturday, Washington beat Boise State 38-10 in the Bucked Up LA Bowl. On Tuesday, we had Jackson State beat Troy 17-13 in the Salute to Veterans Bowl. Earlier today, we had Old Dominion beat South Florida 24-10 in the Staff DNA Cure Bowl. And then going on right now, legitimately breaking news, Delaware is smoking Louisiana 20-6 in the 68 Ventures Bowl. It's their first year in FBS, and they're doing great right now. We do have some more games coming up. Tomorrow we have the Xbox Bowl, Missouri State versus Arkansas State. Friday we have the Myrtle Beach Bowl, Western Michigan versus Kennesaw State. The Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, Memphis versus NC State. And then on Friday, our first playoff game, it's just the college football first round. It doesn't have a cool bowl name. Oklahoma versus Alabama. I think that's probably got to be the worst thing about losing a bowl game or losing in the first round of the college football playoffs. You didn't even make a bowl, technically. On Saturday, we have 3 first-round matchups, Miami versus Texas A&M, Tulane versus Ole Miss, and then James Madison versus Oregon. On Monday, we have the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Washington State taking on Utah State. Tuesday, we have the Boca Raton Bowl, Louisville taking on Toledo. We have the New Orleans Bowl with Western Kentucky and Southern Miss. And then we have the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl featuring UNLV in Ohio. And then on Wednesday, we have the Sheridan Hawaii Bowl. California's taking on Hawaii. They get to play in their own bowl. It's great. We'll talk about the rest of the bowls next week because I'll only talk about the ones that are going on right now. And then also, huge news. I forgot that the Heisman was getting crowned this week. We had our 5 finalists. Julian Sayin, Ohio State quarterback, Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love, Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia, and then Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza. And our winner was the guy who went undefeated all year round. Not gonna build any drum roll. Fernando Mendoza does win the Heisman this year. I believe first player from Indiana to win it. First player in the Big Ten since like 2008, I believe, with Troy Smith in Ohio State. It's been a while since a Big Ten person has won it, apparently. I'm making somebody in the back room think because I don't remember exactly when. That's just what I read. Could be true, could be wrong. My sources are great. And again, I will break down the rest of the 68 Ventures Bowl probably later on tonight if it's over before we are finished. Did want to talk about the previous week in the NFL. A lot of great matchups. Again, playoff implication going on right now. Thursday night, we had a barn burner. The Falcons beat the Buccaneers on a last-second field goal, 29-28. Also overcame like a 14-point deficit at one point. It was great. And then on Sunday, the Eagles beat the Raiders 31-0. What's crazy is everybody's saying, of course, the Eagles should have beaten them. It's the Raiders. But when the Cowboys beat them by less and let the Raiders score multiple times, everyone's like, the Cowboys beat the snot out of them. It was great. Come on, guys. Let's at least try not to be too terribly biased, right? The Bills did beat the Patriots 35-31. Texans beat the Cardinals 40-20. Ravens beat the Bengals 24-0. Multiple shutout wins this week. The Chargers beat the Chiefs 16-13. Bears beat the Browns 31-3. Jaguars beat the Jets 48-20. Commanders beat the Giants 29-21. Packers beat the Broncos beat the Packers. Got that wrong for a second. 39-26. Seahawks beat the Colts 18-16. Rams beat the Lions 41-34. Saints beat the Panthers 20-17. 49ers beat the Titans. I can't read my own writing. Vikings beat the Cowboys 34-26. And then Steelers beat the Dolphins 28-15. So a lot of great, exciting matchups. And we'll talk about them a little bit more as I bring in everybody's favorite starch, Tato. Tato, how's it going?
Hey, it's me. I'm doing good.
That's good. Any thoughts you would like to share from the previous week?
Yeah, man. Something about beating the snot out of a team just because they're bad. I mean, like, it's the NFL. All the teams are good. The whole bad schedule thing, with the exception of the Patriots, who I think are facing like 380 something in schedule. Everyone's between like 440 and 550. Like, it's a parity league. The Bears are good. The Eagles are good. I can deal with it. So are some other teams, though. You got to admit. Pity about, Mike Parsons, Patrick Mahomes. But what I will mostly say, though, what I came up with, a new nickname for a certain player, rising from the trashes, Bo Phoenix.
Rising from the trashes. I'll think about it before we make it canon. But you were talking about good things. Tato, you know what else is good?
I don't know, man. Chicken wings?
No. W Energy, a powder-based energy drink. If you would like 10% off your order, scan that QR code. Today, I actually just got this flavor today. It's the s'mores flavor. And it was full when I started writing down everything. And I mean, I've been drinking a lot. That's delicious. I don't care who you are. That's great. The only sad thing is I'm almost done. So here in a second, I'm going to be drinking from my Legend of Zelda mug that you can buy online on Amazon. If you want to get, I'm kidding. Amazon hasn't sponsored us yet. But just let the viewers know, I'll be drinking from that for a little bit longer, and then we'll go from a different drink. And that's why, because I don't have enough of the good drink. But again, scan that QR code, get 10% off your order. But no, the other really good thing is how our celebrity guest pickers did last week. I will go ahead and say no change to the leaderboard. Jay is still in the lead at 75%. But I did have Alec finished at 56%. So that's actually pretty crappy. He finished at 60 his first go around, so did a little bit worse. But our other picker, Jeremy Potters, did a little better. The coveted number 69% is what he got. So he is actually tied with Chris Perkins. I say that Chris actually came back and beat him because he got 73% his second go around. But still, Jeremy did in fact do better on his second go around, getting a little bit closer to that 75%. But unfortunately did not get enough. Kind of makes me wish I could give the man a second chance, right?
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to. But I will bring in our celebrity guest picker. It's still Jeremy Potters. Jeremy, how's it going?
I'm well. Thanks for having me again. This is my third shot.
Yeah.
I've already had my second shot. And I nailed it. 69, I'm the winner. Like, I feel like that's number one.
Eminem is so pissed right now because you've been given more than one shot, one opportunity.
I'm about to say, I have given everybody except for Jay one shot or a second chance. I have tried to get multiple people in for that second chance, and they keep telling me they're busy. So Jeremy, definitely feel free to pick with us. But what I will say is, to be fair and everything, I can't really give this. I can't use this week in the leaderboard. This one will just be for fun, which, to be fair, all of this has just been for fun. You know what else is for fun? The 68 Ventures Bowl, where Louisiana just scored. It's now 20-13. They're still losing, but they're closer. That's got to count for something, right? Got to count for something.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have another very exciting week, but we have had playoff implications. And not only are teams fighting to make the playoffs, some teams are fighting to stay alive in the playoffs
because of the implications.
But last week, we did unfortunately have to tell a couple teams, so long, farewell, German words. Couple teams will play the little trumpet sound. Find me the trumpet.
Gunter, Gleben, Glocken, Globen. I think that's how that song ends.
Yeah. No, we'll play the taps.
I think that's all we get.
Yeah, that's all we get. Copyright infringement, right? No longer with the chance to make the playoffs. Again, in the AFC, we had the Jets, we had the Browns, the Titans, and the Raiders, all previously eliminated. But joining them, the Miami Dolphins, unfortunately, no longer have a chance to play in this postseason. But wait, there's more. The Cincinnati Bengals, unfortunately, have also been eliminated from playoff contention. But wait, there's one more. The Kansas City Chiefs. Wait, that's got to be a typo, right? No, that's not a typo. The Kansas City Chiefs have been eliminated from playoff contention. Who could predict such a thing to happen? I could last year.
And the year before.
No, just 1 year. I think I had them doing decently that year before. And then in the NFC, again, we did have the Commanders, the Giants, the Saints, and the Cardinals all have been eliminated before. But joining them this week, we have the Minnesota Vikings. Great job beating the Cowboys. Unfortunately, it was for naught due to the Bears winning earlier. They were eliminated from playoff contention. And then the Atlanta Falcons. They might have actually been eliminated earlier. I don't remember. But they have been eliminated from playoff contention as well. But hey, we have two teams with a clinched spot. The Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Rams all have clinched a spot in the playoffs. And then we do have some clinching scenarios this week that we're going to go over real quick. Starting off with the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills cannot clinch their division, but they can clinch a playoff spot this weekend as they play the Browns. They can clinch a playoff spot with either a win and then a Houston loss or a Colts loss. The Broncos can clinch the AFC West by a win and the Chargers loss. And they can also clinch the number 1 seed if both of those happen. And then they need the Patriots to lose and then the Bills to lose. The Jaguars can clinch a playoff berth with a win and a Houston loss or a win and a Colts loss. The Chargers can clinch a playoff berth with the win and a Houston loss or a Colts loss. And then the Patriots, they can clinch a playoff berth with a win or a Colts loss or a Texans loss. The Bears, they can clinch a playoff berth with a win and a Detroit loss. The Packers
can clinch sends the Bears to the playoffs. Let's go.
Could happen. The Packers, with a win and a Lions loss, they clinch. The Eagles, they win and they clinch the NFC East. Or if the Cowboys lose, they clinch the NFC West East. Jesus, Jacob. Direction. For somebody whose last name is a direction, really make me think I knew my directions a little more.
I thought you were
either a win or a Cowboys loss, and they clinch their division. And then the 49ers, they can clinch a playoff berth with a win or a Detroit loss. Seattle Seahawks, they can clinch a win with they can clinch with either a win or Detroit loss as well. So a lot of playoff berths able to happen this week. So guys, let's get into it. Let's figure out who clinches those playoff berths and who has to fight one more week. So we'll start off Thursday Night Football. The Rams are traveling to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Big news out of Rams camp. Devontae Adams did suffer a hamstring injury this last week. It looked relatively serious, but there are still thoughts he might play. He is listed as doubtful for this upcoming game. So we'll see if he comes back in the regular season or if they hold him off until the playoffs. I will go ahead and go first on this one. Seahawks are a 1.5 point favorite. Both these teams have been playing great. Although I'll go ahead and say it, I thought the Seahawks were going to do a whole lot better last week than they did. Neither team's really bouncing back because they both did fairly well yesterday. But I do think the Rams losing out on Devontae Adams is just too much of an injury to fully get over. While I still like that offense, I think it's going to hurt just a little bit. And I think the Seahawks do just enough to get the win. Give me Seattle. Tato, what's your pick here?
Yeah, this one is tight booty. I do think the Rams are generally the best team in football. That's how they've been playing at any rate. They're good on offense. They're good on defense. They're coached well, but pretty well balanced, good on special teams as well. I like what the Seahawks have been doing. This is a banger and a half of a football game that we will be watching. I'm going to give it to the Rams. I think Blake Corum has been coming on enough to obviously not do what Devontae has been doing, but cover that red zone threat situation.
There's a lot of things coming out of Michigan. Boom, I said it. Jeremy, who's your pick here?
This might be like the regular season game of the year. Like a Thursday night division game between two of the best teams in the NFC. Should be a lot of fun. Games in Seattle are always fun because that place is so loud and rowdy, especially if you give them prime time. So I want to give it to the Seahawks.
Oh, shit. They're wearing the Soundwave jerseys. I fucked up. I done fucked up.
Sick.
Oh, well.
Also to note, this is the first Thursday night game where both teams have more than 11 wins. So, granted, you can't do that until later in the season anyway, but that's just something to note. Next, we have the great Saturday games. First, we have the Eagles taking on the Commanders. Eagles are a 6.5 point favorite. And because I did not schedule this one properly, I get to go first on this one. Big news out of Washington. Jaden Daniels is done for the rest of the year. So it will be Marcus Mariota, at least starting this week. We'll see if he can survive that defense. But no, Philadelphia definitely had that huge, not just a huge victory, but I'll say a huge moral victory. That's the best this offense has looked all year. One punt, which we were leading the league in punts, which is wild to believe. One turnover on downs, which was on the 1 yard line with our second string in because Tank Bigsby, we wanted to get him to score, and they just so happened to stop him. But our second string had more yards than all of the Raiders last week. So that's fun. But huge moral victory, getting us on the right track. I think this is just a too beaten up Washington team to be able to do much right now. I think Philadelphia gets the win and we clinch the division. First repeat NFC East champions in over 20 years, which the last one, was still the Eagles. Jeremy, I'll have you go next. Who's your pick here?
Where is this? Is this at Washington or Philadelphia?
It's in Washington.
Okay. That's not really going to make a difference, probably. Like, Washington's bad, but they're not Raiders bad. So the Eagles, they could get tripped up just by Washington trying to play spoiler. You know what I mean? The rivalry is real, but the Eagles should win handily. So I mean, I'm going to take the Eagles, but be careful.
And careful is my middle name. And Tato.
Yeah, in light of Devontae Adams' injury, I did pick up Scary Terry, who was chilling on the waiver wire. But I'm not going to start him against the exciting lights if I can avoid it. So we will give that one to the Eagles. I think they're figuring it out, and Washington is not great at football.
To be fair, Scary Terry will probably be going up against Quinyon Mitchell for most of that game, who is not an exciting light, but he is still probably one of the best corners in the game. So take that how you will, fantasy owners. Next, we will go on to the next Saturday game as the Packers travel to Chicago to take on the Bears. Bears are 1.5-point favorites. And again, huge news coming out of Green Bay came on Monday. Micah Parsons is out for the season with a torn ACL. First time in I don't know how long, multiple ACL tears in 1 week. But Tato, start us off.
Yeah, it probably happens relative, like with some degree of frequency. It's just never two fucking mega stars the way it was last week. But yeah, it is a bummer about Micah. I would have picked the Bears with Micah staying healthy in this one. Obviously, with what the Bears did last week, I think they're fired up. They're feisty at home. I want to see the playoffs run through Chicago if possible because I think the Bears want. This is the first time in my life I've seen a Bears team prepared to play Bears weather football, which is bananas. Also, as a Bears fan, definitely scared of when the other shoe is going to drop. But like, I think I reasonably can be confident in this team. This is a good fucking football team. Give me the Bears.
All right, and Jeremy, who's your pick?
Yeah, man, they're the little monsters of the Midway. They're not like the great like crazy teams from the '80s and stuff, but they could be. Like like Tito said, they're having fun. They're feisty. They're slinging shit. Like they're fun to watch, and I don't think it's going to let up. That's a big hit to Green Bay's defense. That's a lot of pass rushing just gone, and that's too bad. I mean, it really is. But I don't expect the Bears are not going to try to take advantage of that. So I would, yeah, take the Bears to get in the playoffs, man. Let's go.
Absolutely. As I close this out, I probably would have picked the Packers had Micah have been playing because I do still like that defense. However, there's definitely going to be this week and next week some struggles because a great weapon was taken away. And while yes, he wasn't necessarily he was the number one sack leader for that team, but he wasn't always the person getting the sacks. He was taking quite a bit of on the field. A lot of times he was taking most of the pressure from the offensive line, so somebody else like Quez Watkins could come in and get the sack. And so definitely a huge loss there. But we've also seen what Caleb Williams can do when he's not getting pressured that much. I believe it was the Cowboys game was his first ever game without a sack, and he torched them. I think it's going to be a similar game here. While he might get pressured a little bit, nowhere near as much as he would have gotten pressured had number one been out there. So I do think it'll still be close because, of course, those games are close. But Bears do get the edge out there. Next, we move on. Sunday games. The Jets are traveling to New Orleans to take on the Saints in somehow not the 2 a.m. Tubi Bowl. But Jeremy, start us off here. Who's getting your win and why?
Sorry, you cut out for a second. Who's playing the Saints?
It is the Jets versus the Saints.
Oh, good Lord. I guess I'll give it to the Saints. Shuck it and chuck it. Like, why not? The Jets are bad. The Saints are bad, too. It's going to be a bad game. It's too bad.
Yeah. Starting for the Jets, Brady Cook quarterback from Missouri. Again, making that second start, I believe. The Jets did fire defensive coordinator this week. I'm blanking on his name right now. Steve Wilkes.
It doesn't matter.
It really does not matter.
It doesn't
If
matter.
I could remember your name, you probably deserve the job. The fact I can't remember. No, Steve Wilkes, former Panthers head coach. One takeaway all season so far. Your New York Jets. No, both these teams are pretty bad, but one team has surprised me a couple weeks. The other team is the Jets. Because of that, I have to give it to the Saints because I don't think I've actually picked the Saints to win it all this year. Here you go, Saints. You're going to win this week. And Tato.
Chuck it, football. Go Saints.
Permission to put that on a t-shirt. Shuck it and chuck it. All right, next we have the Bills are traveling to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Bills are a 10.5-point favorite. Myles Garrett, 21.5 sacks. He is 1 away from tying, 1.5 away from having the record on his own. Should have had one last week that they only credited him for half the sack. So a little upset there. That's the biggest news to come out of this game. But again, the Bills are playing for a playoff spot. The Browns are not. Bills, Josh Allen's going to get sacked a couple times. A record's going to get broken. But the Bills still get the win. Tato, what's your pick?
Yeah, it's pretty nuts to me that people were thinking that Myles had a chance at the sack record last week. I said, you know what, after TJ Watt touches Caleb once, Micah doesn't touch him, and then Myles Garrett's all of a sudden going to get 3? No. I granted Myles exactly the 1.5 that he got, so points me on that prediction, and probably points me for predicting the Bills' victory in this game.
All right, and Jeremy.
Yeah, the Browns are hilarious. They're the funniest team to watch every week. Always something new. Hopefully, he gets the record, and hopefully he gets it like legitimately, and nobody lays down like Brett Favre, like make him get it. Damn it! But yeah, the Bills are going to win by 30. It's going to be fun.
One thing I'm not worried about is Josh Allen laying down.
Yeah, I hope not, man. No ceremonial shit.
One thing I will say, big news in Cleveland, Shedeur Sanders is now the passing yard leader for the year. He finally overtook Dylan Gabriel in his many starts, but he's still under 1,000 yards. So take that as you will. Next we have the Chiefs traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Jeremy, start us off with this one. Oh, I will say, Chiefs are a 3-point favorite, and then I did not get to say it sooner. Big news coming out of the Chiefs locker room as he was having to be helped to walk down the hallway that had all the banners of his accomplishments that he has made as a Kansas City Chief. Patrick Mahomes did tear his ACL towards the end of the game. He's done for the season. Gardner Minshew will be starting for the Chiefs in his place. Jeremy, start us off. Who's winning?
The Chiefs should win, but I'll take off-brand Carson Wentz and the Chiefs. Like, why not? Like, Gardner Minshew's just been around. Like, he's played for like 5 teams now. So he can go out there and beat the Titans, I'm sure. I think. That's my pick. The Titans are bad too.
I think the worst thing to come out of all of this is there are going to be some off-brand sports fans who look back at this season and they think to themselves, Well, of course the Chiefs didn't make the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes hurt his knee. And just think that that's why they lost and not, oh no, like he played 14 weeks before that happened. They were out of the playoffs before he injured himself. Unlike the Tom Brady injury where that was week 1. He was not there the whole season. Mahomes was there for most of it. But yeah, the Chiefs should beat the Titans. Gardner Minshew is a gunslinger. I love him. Former Eagle. He should beat the Titans, right? Right. But I'm taking the Titans. Tato, who's your pick?
Yeah, I'm tempted to take a cheeky Titans pick on this one. And if it were any other punk backup quarterback, I would. But give me one more Minshew Mania run, baby.
Oh, it would be amazing if they look like a phenomenal football team with Gardner Minshew at quarterback. Next, we have the Chargers traveling to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. This is a 1:00 game, so the sun will be a factor, but not as much as it would be if it was a 4:00 game. I'll go ahead and go first on this one. Cowboys are a 2.5-point favorites, but that being said, the Chargers have looked great all year, and especially right now, they're playing really good, and the Cowboys have not been playing really good. Chargers win, which means regardless of what happens Saturday, the Philadelphia Eagles win the division. Tato, who's your pick?
Justin Herbert's been sacked twice as much as Caleb Williams this year. Just getting that out there. Dallas does not have a very super awesome pass rush for some reason or another. Give me the Cowboys because I think the Eagles have already punched their ticket anyway.
Yeah, just imagine this Cowboys defense with Micah Parsons with a good knee. Be crazy. Why isn't that a thing, you know? Jeremy, who's your pick here?
It's tough. I like Harbaugh having those guys ready to go in and kick some ass and like try to keep fighting because they could still miss the playoffs. So, you know, like they could fuck it up. And this would be a start to that. Like the Cowboys aren't bad; they're just not well organized or managed or run. Because the franchise is kind of funny sometimes because there's that guy, that old dude. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chargers. Love my Harbaugh boys, so we'll do that.
Yeah, I'm about to say when your GM actually has a decent trade deadline, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, Jerry Jones actually did something." Should tell you all you need to know about your GM. Next, we have the Vikings traveling to MetLife to take on the Giants. Vikings are a 3-point favorite. Tato, who's your pick?
Yeah, JJ been putting it a little bit together as of late. Giants, I still don't think they're doing much of that at all. I will take Minnesota here. They can win. They can continue to win some meaningless games. Maybe boost my sales revenue in the state.
All right, and Jeremy. Right. This is another one where everybody's bad. The Giants. Like, just give me, every week, give me Jackson Dart putting his face through a wall. It's fine. I love it. Throw it to the moon, buddy.
The Giants still on a crazy losing streak. The Vikings have won 2 straight games since we saw that Matt Bosler, whatever his name is, throwing the worst throwaway pass right into the hands of a Seahawks defender. They've gone 2-0 since then, scored 30 points in both games. Ever since the picture of J.J. McCarthy where he's like, he's been actually really good.
It's gritty. 9. It's not JJ. It's 9.
9.
Nice.
Fun fact, Justin Jefferson, 7th in target share, 79th in receiving points per game over those last couple weeks.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers to Justin Jefferson. Hopefully we can get him to a better team, like the Eagles. That'd be great, right? But what I will say is Vikings have been playing really good as of late. Give me the Vikings. Next game we have the Buccaneers versus the Panthers. This is in Carolina. This is the division that nobody wants to win, apparently, because both teams have had a good shot. So with that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a tie. But Tato, Buccaneers are 3-point favorites. Give me your thoughts. Who wins?
Yeah, give me Baker with the healthy receiving core.
Also, hi, Melanie. Okay. And Jeremy.
I think last week I said what could happen is exactly what happened to the Buccaneers. So they're just going to keep sliding and it's just going to get worse. I think they're done. So I'll go with Carolina.
Well, we definitely saw something crazy last week with the Buccaneers. They started that second half amazing. My father-in-law is a giant Falcons fan. I was telling him on Saturday, I'm like, I quit watching because I actually wanted them to win, and just 3 straight stalled out drives. The Buccaneers were just running away with it. Turned off my phone because I had to close down my store. And then I look at my phone and they have a chance to win. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? I think what that was a Buccaneers team who, again, has just started playing everybody together because everyone's been hurt, but still not quite having the continuity that they need. And I think this is the week that they get that continuity. I think the Buccaneers get back to their winning ways, and we start saying, I could see Baker Mayfield being an MVP candidate. I have the Buccaneers winning by a lot this week. Next, we have the Bengals traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Jeremy, start us. No, you just did the last one, didn't you? It doesn't matter. We're going to do it again. I lose track all the time. I'm reading the comments. Jeremy, who's your pick on this one? Bengals are 4.5-point favorites.
What's the name of the guy that's taken over for Miami since Tua got benched?
Quinn Ewers from Texas.
He's not going to win. He might throw 4 interceptions. This might be like a vindication game for Tua. They replace him and this guy goes out and turns the ball over 6 times. I don't want to pick the Bengals because it makes me feel funny. It makes me feel kind of gross, to be perfectly honest with you. But I expect them to absolutely roll the Dolphins by a lot. Yeah, the Bengals get a win that doesn't mean anything, and that's my favorite kind of win for the Bengals to get.
Yeah. No, just like Jeremy said, Tua has been benched. Quinn Ewers, rookie from Texas, is making his starting debut. We have seen him throw a couple passes in the past, but this is his actual first starts in the NFL. Played at Texas, went to Ohio State, did not play at all, so he transferred. But he is from the great high school of South Lake Carroll in Carrollton, Texas. The Dragons. This high school make all their players bleach their hair white, so when they run out with their helmets off, it's supposed to scare the other team, I guess. But it's one of the best high schools in Texas as far as football goes. Is every time either of the high schools that I grew up near played them, you knew South Lake's going to win. So I want to give Quinn some love and say, hey, watch out for the Dolphins. So I'm going to say it. Watch out for the Dolphins. Bengals get the win, but watch out for the Dolphins. Tato, who's your pick here?
I'll take Bengals.
All right, going with the Bengals. Next, we have the Jaguars traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos. Again, one team has clinched a playoff spot. The other team is trying to. And I've been high on the Jaguars all year. I've been very high on the Jaguars all year. And I have been very low on the Broncos all year. Straight out of the trash, Bo Nix. Or whatever Tato said that we're going to make into a shirt. But game must recognize game. And while Bo Nix had one of his best weeks last week, that defense is firing on all cylinders. And I definitely think this is a game where Jacksonville struggles, mainly because it's in Denver. But what I will say, high note from the Jags, Cam Little does get the record for longest field goal kick that he already broke once this year. Give it to him again. However, not enough to get the win. I have the Broncos getting the win here. Tato, who's your pick?
Yeah, I'll take the Broncos, but I would love to see Cam Little from 70. It's probably a little cold, unfortunately.
Oh, it is so cold here right now. No snow, but cold. And Jeremy.
Yeah, I mean, you think we'll get one? Like, they should just let him do it, right? 70 yards, see if he can hit it. I hope so. The Broncos, I'm going to take the Broncos. I think it'll be a good game, though. Like, I think it's going to be a very entertaining, fun watch.
Entertaining to someone, right? Has to be. I think it'll be a very fun game. Next, we have. I don't know why this is an afternoon game. This should be one of the 1:00 games. The Falcons traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Falcons are a 3-point favorite. Yeah, this is like essentially a primetime game. No team is doing anything. But hey, Tato, pick someone.
This game is stinky poo-poo. I'll take the Falcons.
And Jeremy.
Can they just cancel it? God. Yeah, the Falcons. Why not? Maybe they're on a heater. I don't know.
They can cancel the game, but we're not going to talk about how they cancel it. That'll get me canceled. I'm gonna share the same sentiment. I like what the Cardinals are doing. Michael Carter and Jacoby Brissett. That duo is very dynamic. But I really like this Falcons pass rush. I think this Falcons team might be a little bit better next year. We'll see. I'm going with the Falcons as well. Next, we have the Raiders traveling to Houston to take on the Texans. Texans are a 14.5-point favorites. Jeremy, who are you picking?
Like, it's funny that the team from Vegas has the biggest line of the year probably against them. I like that. Yeah, Houston by 1 million.
Geno Smith should be playing again, which is unfortunate news for the Raiders. I also have Houston getting the win and Tato.
Yeah, Houston, they're definitely becoming that team that no one wants to see down the stretch. That defense is fucking mean.
You're gross.
So mean. Next, we have the Steelers traveling to Detroit to take on the Lions. Lions are a 7-point favorites. Again, Aaron Rodgers could be the reason the Packers make the playoffs, or the reason the Bears make the playoffs, or the reason the Lions make the playoffs. Both these teams have been playing very well as of late, so it's all a matter of who do I trust more. Do I trust future Hall of Famer, ayahuasca journeyman, or Jared Goff? I trust Jared Goff more. Give me the Lions. Tato, who's your pick?
Yeah, unfortunately, as I've mentioned before, I can't have nice things. There's no the Bears clinching in week 16. Let's be real here. I'll take the Lions. But I will throw in but. Like Aaron Rodgers sends the Bears to the playoffs. Funniest fucking headline of the year.
Absolutely. And Jeremy.
That's exactly why I'm taking the Steelers. Just the irony of this season is so weird across the board. Like no Chiefs in the playoffs. Like everything's flipped up, turned upside down. Cats and dogs living together. It's mass hysteria. So yeah. Aaron Rodgers sends the Bears to the playoffs.
That would be wild, to be fair. But also mass hysteria is our Sunday night football game. The New England Patriots traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Again, massive playoff implications. It's crazy. The Sunday night football game is a good game on paper. We'll see how it actually turns out.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I'm not going to fumble this time. We held on to the ball last week. We did not turn it over, and we won. Who gets the win here?
Probably the Patriots. I'm going to pick the Ravens because they're my team. I'm not. I won't be surprised if we get steamrolled. Like to be honest with you, the Patriots are good, and we're just there. Like I'm happy we beat the Bengals the way we did, but also it doesn't matter. So like we have to win, really. The Steelers are. I would like to set up a match at the end of the year for the division, but we'll see. But I'm going to pick the Ravens, even though probably not.
I like the loyalty. I gotta admire it. I'm not gonna go with it. Patriots bounce back, get the win. Tato.
Yep, Patriots really putting that running game together. I think they'll be also pretty prepped for some cold weather games down the road here.
And also, like, they're going to kill Travion Henderson. Like, the biggest thing was, you got to use Travion Henderson, right? And finally, in week 10, they start using him. Let other people play, right?
Why?
I mean, they saved him up. Yeah, he should be good to go.
All right, which takes us to Monday Night Football. The 49ers travel to Indianapolis to take on Phillip Rivers and the Colts. It still feels so weird saying it. Fat Grandpa starting an NFL game. Tato, I'm going to need a minute to collect myself. Who's your pick?
Yeah, unfortunately, I am going to take the 49ers here. They do whatever regardless of who the fuck is playing where. They're just tremendous at next man up. I don't think any team exemplifies that better. And while the Colts are fun, I very much do want them to get a win. Like, I want to see Phillip Rivers win one of these at least. Yeah, I think the Niners get this one done.
And Jeremy, who's your pick?
We get to watch Phillip Rivers on Monday night. Hilarious. I love it. They're wearing the Indiana Knights uniforms, like the dark blue and black. So they're gonna look real good when they get the shit kicked out of them by San Francisco. I guess I think that the 49ers are definitely gonna beat them.
Call me crazy.
Yeah.
I was very surprised by the way that man played against the Seattle Seahawks. We all said they stand no chance. I said he was going to die on national TV.
So did I.
But the man's still living. And they were in it the whole time. I think the 49ers are the wildest team in the NFL because it doesn't matter who's in at quarterback or who's playing receiver. or who they just signed from whatever college football practice squad to start for their defense. They've been winning. They've been winning ugly games. They've been winning close games. They've been winning. And I go back and forth on this one. But I can't not go with Fat Grandpa. Fat Grandpa leads the Colts to the win. I called it last week. I'm saying it happens on Monday. Phillip Rivers gets the win. Colts miss the playoffs, however, but they get the win here.
Real quick, did we do the standings from last week?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Scan that QR code. Get 10% off your order. Yeah, Tato, you're winning. It doesn't matter. You finished at 12-4. I was at 10-6, which makes me really wish that I did go with the Eagles. But hey, they steamrolled the Raiders, so I'll take it. You are sitting at 145-79. I'm at 130-94. Thanks for watching. Make smart choices or don't, because I don't care. I'm not your dad, but I could be your papa.